Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm not doing makeup, but I am talking about makeup. In this video, I'm going to be answering some questions about makeup, eyeshadow. It's a little game that's going around. People are tagging other creators, and you know, everyone has to play along and answer the questions. So I have the questions on my phone. So I'm going to be looking at my phone, reading the questions, and then giving you guys the answers. So the reason I found out about this challenge is I was tagged by That Dude in Makeup. He was in a few of my videos. We've collabed together. He did this challenge and he tagged me to do the challenge. So I'll be answering these questions, and let's get into it and let's have some fun. So there's 10 questions that I'm going to be answering. So number one is the brand you have the most palettes from. This is gonna be a pretty easy answer for me. It's definitely ColourPop, and I feel like I have a lot of palettes from them because number one, I think they're actually really good and they go on well, and also they're affordable. They have a lot of sales. Their prices in general are pretty like affordable and, you know, a little bit cheaper than higher end stuff, but they still work really well. So definitely ColourPop. Which is funny because That Dude in Makeup, he told me about ColourPop when I first met him, and I've heard of ColourPop, but I never bought any of their stuff, but now I have a ton of it. So it's funny because I'm actually kind of, I guess you'd say, new to discovering the brand, and now I have the most from them. So the second question is, the brand you have the least palettes from has to be a minimum of 3. BH Cosmetics. I do have a few palettes from them. They were one of the first brands I actually bought eyeshadow from, so it's kind of funny that I have the least from that, or not the least, but the least out of, you know, a minimum of 3. I have other brand eyeshadows that I only have like 1 palette from, but with a minimum of 3, it's definitely BH. I like their formulas, and I think their eyeshadows are really good, as well as their other products. They have really good products, and they're pretty affordable too. I'd say they're kind of right up there with ColourPop. To me, they're very similar brands, but yeah, BH. Number 3 is the brand you wish you had more palettes from. So this answer is going based off of the palette that I just got, also from That Dude in Makeup. He got me the Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals palette. I haven't done a video on this palette yet, but I'm going to because I love it. I'm wearing it right now, and it's just like so good. It might be my favorite palette. The formula and everything is just so amazing. The eyeshadows are so silky and smooth, and they go on so nice, and they blend so nice. So this is the palette. So I would definitely say this is my first Anastasia palette. I would definitely say that I would love to get more products from this brand. Number 4 is the brand with the most interesting color story. I would say Nomad Cosmetics. I have the Hudson Valley palette, which I did 2 videos using. I think they're really smart with the way that they create palettes. So this is an autumn palette. If you've seen my videos, you would know. And I think the colors are really true to autumn, and the color story is really nice. I've also seen their other palettes. They have Christmas palettes and I think winter palettes. They have like a bunch of palettes, and their color stories for every palette just seem so perfect to me that I would say that they have the most interesting color stories, and they execute them like really well. Question number 5 is the palette you always wanted but never bought. So my answer for this would be the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. I think they're really good, Urban Decay. I've heard some stuff that they're not as good anymore. Their formulas are not all there, but I haven't tried their new stuff. I've only tried some of their older stuff. I have the Naked 3 palette, which I love, and I've swatched the Naked 2 palette. And my sister, I think I bought her the Naked 2 palette. I just never got it for myself. And I love it. I love the way it looks. I love the color story of it. So I would definitely say that's a palette that I've kind of always wanted since I've known about it. And I definitely would still want to buy it, like, to this day. Number 6 is a series you want with palettes and from which brand. So the way I understand that question is something you want to see with a palette, like a TV show or something you're really into. What kind of palette would you want to see and what brand? There's a few. I have a few things that I'd like to see. I'm going to give 3 answers to this question because there's 3 different things that I'd like to see. I don't know if there are some out there already. I don't think so, but number 1 would be, and you guys are going to learn some stuff about me right now. Number 1 would be a race car palette or like a car palette. If you don't know me or you don't know anything about me, I love racing. My family's background is racing cars. My background is go-karts and racing cars. My dad, my grandpa, we've all been in it, and it's something that I really love, and it's my happy place when I'm at the racetrack. So I think it'd be really cool to see a palette like that. It's different, but I would love to see a palette that has to do with racing and cars, and I think it'd be really cool. It'd be a fun palette. The brand that I would want to make the palette, I feel like ColourPop would do really good at doing something like that because I feel like they're already all over the place. I would say ColourPop would probably execute that really well. The second answer I have to this question would be an office theme palette, not like a work office, like The Office, the TV show, because that is my favorite show. I would love to see like the color story of the palette and like the names of each shadow. I think that'd be so fun. What brand would I want to make the palette? Again, I'd probably say ColourPop. I feel like they'd execute it really well. But yeah, I don't know. I think all of my answers are going to be ColourPop to this question because I've just seen them do so many things with palettes that it just makes sense if ColourPop, you know, created these different fun palettes. The third answer to this question would be Fortnite. I love Fortnite. It's one of my favorite video games. I play it all the time, and I think it would be so fun to see a Fortnite palette and see what they come up with, what different colors, because I feel like it's a really colorful game. If you know Fortnite, you would know. So I feel like there's so much you could do with a Fortnite palette, and it'd be interesting to see how many people would actually buy it. I don't really know like how many people are into Fortnite right now. Sometimes people make fun of me for saying I love Fortnite, so I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that would buy it, but I think that'd be cool. And again, I think ColourPop would be the one to make the palette. Number 7 is a palette you want to love but don't. This was a really easy answer for me because I wanted to try this brand, and when I finally got this palette, I did not like it at all. I think it like is just so, the formula or whatever they're using in this palette is just so bad. It didn't swatch right, it didn't go on right, so unfortunately I'm going to have to say the Natasha Denona Mini Tropic palette. Now, I mentioned this in my palette collection video that I did get this palette on sale for $13. Maybe there was a reason, $13 or $12, I'm not sure. But maybe there was a reason that this was on sale. It's just so bad. And I've heard such good stuff about Natasha Denona, so I don't know if it's maybe just the minis or what. I guess I'd have to try a bigger palette to like really, you know, give the brand a true reflection on what I think about it. But if we're basing it off of this, I don't like this palette. I really wanted to like this palette, and I don't. I don't even know if I'm gonna be using this ever. Okay, question number 8 is a palette you love but didn't think you would. This is going to be the All Amethyst palette by ColourPop, which is this. done a few videos, I think, using this palette. I thought it was really pretty, so I was like, okay, it's pretty, but I wasn't sure if the colors were going to be a little too bright for me because I do very neutral looks, so I thought I was kind of going to hate it, but I love it. I love this palette so much. It's one of my favorites ever. Purple is a really good color for brown eyes, and I think it just makes my eyes pop, as well as it goes on really nice, and you can still pull off neutral looks with this palette. It's not really that bright and vibrant. So this is the palette I thought I was gonna hate, and I do not. Question number 9 is a palette you wish had a part 2. This is a discontinued, I believe, palette. It's the Carly Bible palette. It's made by BH Cosmetics. I got this a long time ago, but I love this palette, and I wish they came out with another one. I don't even know if she's making palettes anymore or what's going on, but I love this palette, and I wish she made another one or like a little part 2 to it. So here's the palette. It's just so pretty, and these colors just go on so nice. This is my favorite color up here. That's my favorite shadow. It has like a little shift to it, if you can see. It's kind of like a pink, and then it goes to like a corally gold. But you have like highlighters, and then just regular shadows. And I just think it's so pretty. The colors are so pretty. The packaging, it's old, so it's a little dirty, but the packaging is so cute. So I would love to see a part 2 of this. Probably not gonna happen, but it'd be cool. For our 10th and final question, we have you ever decluttered a palette and then regretted it? At first I was like, no, not that I know of. I really hold on to like a lot of stuff, even if it's like past the expiration date. I most likely keep it. And then I thought about the question, and I was like, yes, there is a palette that I really loved, and I had to get rid of it because the top that closes broke off, and so the palette was just like open, and I put it in a bag and I tried to preserve it. And I was like, okay, I gotta let this palette go. It's old now. It was like probably like 6 years old, and I was like, it's just been in this bag. I'm not using it really, so I have to throw it out. So I did. And that palette, I don't have it with me obviously, so I'll insert a picture somewhere, is the e.l.f. California Baked palette. This palette was so nice. I got it at like CVS or Rite Aid, like a drugstore. So it was kind of cheap, but it was so nice. It was before I was buying like higher end makeup or like really any eyeshadows. I just wanted like one palette or 2 palettes that I could just use all the time, and that was one of them. It was so pretty. The colors were so nice. The way it went on was so nice, and it was affordable. So I didn't want to get rid of that palette. I really held on to it for as long as I could, but you know, the time came when it had to go. Even looked online the other day to like see if they still make it, and I think they do. It was online. I haven't looked at the drugstore yet. I would like to actually look and see if it's there or something like it, but apparently they're still making it, I guess. So that wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed the Q&A. Let me know what you think of the answers, or if you want to play along and give me your answers in the comment. That'd be super fun. So I thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn the notification bell on to get alerted every time I post a video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.